Okay, guys, so this is something that you've probably already heard about. Yesterday, R6 Twitter was just blowing up about this, and I wanted to make a video on it as soon as I could. I couldn't yesterday. I was out of town, but right before I sat down to write this video and make it, I saw Get Flanked posted a video on this same topic in particular. He posted like literally 7 minutes ago. I haven't watched it, simply because I don't want to, not thinking about it, accidentally take things away from his video and put it in mine. But I'm pretty sure we have the similar opinions on this topic. And so this entire video was really just a discussion about Zofia and her withstand ability, and how it's something that I don't think, and many other people don't really think it belongs in Rainbow Six Siege, and really, especially when it comes to the competitive scene. And so for those of you who aren't exactly sure what I'm talking about, what started this whole discussion, I'm going to show you the clip of what happened and why so many personalities in the R6 community are talking about this.
They don't quite catch the diffuser partner, but watch Corey at the top of the screen. He's able to sneak his way all the way around to the spiral, but it's the trade that happens on the door. They don't quite catch Nate, but there he goes, and there it goes. Corey. I said watch him, and he's the one that finds his way all the way back. Usus tries to get control on the second story, but they're just going to stick it this time around. There's the Banshee. There's no sticking. They heard him. They see him. They drop him, and now it's just a matter of getting the diffuser down. He's not quite finished. Zofia. They're trying to pull themselves back up, but with 20 seconds and a man upstairs somehow! Aces goes down a 1 versus 1. They lost it. They picked themselves up just in time. Corey versus Usus. Gonna try and stick it in again. Oh! There it is, Usus!
The withstand is able to save the round here for Eminem. Usus is able to not just quite get the shot. He gets down through the flooring, but manages to crawl back just enough so the angle is not being found by the rogue players. Picks himself back up, and he's able to get both of them here. And A for saying have some.
So as you can see, Eminem Gaming was able to prevent Rogue from winning the entire match just because of the fact that Zofia had the ability to give up whenever she was put in the down but not out state. I'm not exactly sure how important this match was in terms of the R6 esport. I'm not sure if this was a match that held a ton of weight, and to be honest, I haven't watched a ton of R6 esports since they stopped doing the LAN events. But regardless, had this been a match that was like a grand final, and they're going into match point, and the sequence of events that took place from this clip happened there, I can't think of any other word other than just how terrible and gut-wrenching that would be. And so, many people are crying that, people like me and others are complaining about, Zofia having this ability. And they're saying, just shoot her in the head. Then you won't have to worry about this. And, just get good. Just hit your shots. Which honestly, yeah, have the shot Usus in the head. That would secure the win right there. But they didn't. And not only did they not shoot him in the head, had Usus been playing literally any other operator in this game, the match would have ended right there and then, and the win could have been secured for Rogue right there. And I know a lot of people are making comparisons to like Doc. Doc is able to pick himself up, and Finky can pick others up. Yeah, because it makes sense with what their abilities do. Doc's entire ability focuses on the fact that he can pick himself and others up, and give them health. So for Doc, that makes sense why he can do that. Finky's ability allows her to pick others up from a distance, and again, that makes sense for her. Her ability is that she can give health to her team, and it would be really disappointing if she didn't have the ability to pick her teammates up. But what about Zofia? I mean, her ability to stand up when down but not out has nothing to do with her ability. Zofia is the best fragger in Rainbow Six Siege. You could say Ash all you want. Zofia is the best. She's a soft breach with concussion grenades that act like lazy drones. And she has one of the best weapons in the game. So tell me, why does she need the ability to be able to get up whenever she's down but not out? And it's simply, and the reason that we're given is simply because of her lore. Because Zofia is an operator who's just so independent and doesn't need to rely on anyone but herself. So, she just took 4 shots of 45 ACP to the chest, but she's going to get right back up because she's resilient. That's laughable. And one of my favorite tweets that came from this whole outrage was from Bikini Bodhi. He said, people are always asking themselves why Siege is having a tough time as an esport, but then we regularly, a few times a year, have lore-winning rounds that could potentially influence people's livelihoods. From a third-person perspective, that's incredibly stupid, and I could not agree with them enough. And, it's one thing to have a mechanic in a video game, but when it's one thing to have a mechanic like this in a video game, but then whenever you have that game trying to be a competitive esport, it makes no sense why it really exists. Not only does this mechanic should not exist, it really does not need to be on the best entry frag operator in the entire game. And like Bikini said, this affects people's livelihoods. Imagine if this was a grand final match with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, sponsorship deals, that kind of thing, and you lose because the lore says Zofia is an operator who is self-reliant. It does not care that she gets shot 4 times in the chest. It's like stealing a win from somebody. If it's like coming down to a 1v2 like we just saw, and just because they have a Zofia, they win because she can get back up. And forget about esports for a second. Even from the perspective of just regular ranked play, why does this ability exist? The devs already know that this mechanic shouldn't exist because they almost gave it to Chachanka. If you remember in the test server for the Chachanka rework, he also had the ability to withstand, which made absolute 0 sense. So Ubisoft is aware that this little hidden feature makes no sense really at all and really has no purpose in the game other than just trying to tie in lore to the multiplayer gameplay. And I imagine a lot of you guys are going to hate this video and go back to, just shoot it in the head and fine, whatever. But when you have a game like Rainbow Six Siege that tries to sell itself as a super competitive, realistic esport, and then you have rounds being lost because the dev team wanted to add caveats of lore rather than properly balancing operators, I see that as a problem. And if you're someone who wants to see R6 succeed as an esport, you should be able to recognize that as a problem. And again, had Usis played any other operator in the game, any other attacking operator, Rogue would have won then and there. But that wasn't the case. That round went on to play more rounds because lore. Just because of the lore. We had to tie in the lore to the multiplayer. And again, I'm someone, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I'm someone who loves the lore of Rainbow Six Siege. I find it really, really interesting. But lore should not have an effect on balance. I mean, if this was like a story-driven single-player game, sure, whatever. But that's not this game. This is a competitive first-person shooter that's trying to succeed as an esport. And so, again, like Bikini said, having rounds like that, it's laughable, and it's no positives come from it. And don't think I'm dogging Eminem from this. I mean, Usis, he did great in that final play. He used it to his advantage, and he won because of it. Again, had he been playing another operator, he would have died, but he wasn't. He was lucky enough to have the Zofia picked, and he was able to execute because of that. So, good for him and Eminem for that round. But that's about it. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. Also, I know that I don't have like a ton of clips running in the background. It's just T-Hunt footage. I was already late on making this video and needed to get it out as soon as possible. And I think this is something that I may try to do more often moving forward, considering that I'm in my last semester of college. I don't play as much Siege as I would like to and as much as I need to. And so trying to compile a bunch of clips is really taxing, and this channel isn't about clips or highlights, so I'm not going to worry about that as much. You know as well as I do that, I'm not a champion player who's out here trying to get highlights for a highlight reel with a crappy trap beat in the background, like a lot of people do. This channel is all about commentary, so I think this is the most effective way for me to pump out content for you guys. 80% of this channel is like trying to get background footage and clips that I think would work. And so this takes, a lot of pressure off me and is able to give me the content or push out the content that I'm satisfied with. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. And if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing for more content. And again, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I am the Senator, and as always, have a good one.